My husband, Josh, attempted suicide November 2nd of 2018. He used his shoestring to hang himself. He was brought to the hospital. He was still breathing, so he was in a coma. They said basically he's in a vegetative state. He only functions with the brain stem, so that is blinking, breathing, coughing. He does turn his head and all of that, but that's reflexes. I had to sign the consents to put the trach in the peg tube, which is his feeding, to keep him alive. Right after Josh got out of the hospital and went to the nursing home he was in, he was much more alert. He did cry at one point. Josh has smiled also, but as of the last year, I have not seen anything like that from him. I don't even know if those were reflexes or emotions. I installed cameras in his room so that I'd be able to monitor him throughout the day. I do have the motion detection that goes off. He has only set it off one time, and it was when he was having a very bad seizure. I've been posting on social media about Josh and throughout this whole process.
This to me is no way for someone to be left, and this is the stuff that you guys don't see.
No progress has been made. I'm only seeing more decline. I'm struggling and fighting to try to do what is best for Josh. I disagree with my mother-in-law, Kelly, with me wanting to bring Josh home with hospice and stop his feedings to let him pass peacefully in the comfort of our own home. I was trying to bring Josh home about a month ago. Kelly threatened to take legal action and hospice would not admit him. Kelly wants to keep Josh alive for her comfort. She's being selfish and vindictive towards me. She has done nothing but say evil things to me. I truly feel this is what Josh would want. I just don't see any chance that Josh will come out of this. There's nothing that's going to bring him back.
As you can see in the video, the husband is actually in a vegetative state just because he committed suicide and eventually survived it. Survived in a way that he's still breathing, but he is actually brain dead. Okay, he's not being responsive to his surroundings. He's not being responsive at all to anyone around him. He may be exhibiting some signs of being active, blinking, crying, yawning, but those are involuntary reflexes. He cannot understand, he cannot see, and basically he's just a mindless human being. Human being. He sleeps, he wakes up, he looks around, but he's not really intentionally looking for everyone around or looking at everyone around. So basically, the reason why this is very crucial is that the wife, after being advised by all of the doctors that the husband will not recover anymore, just wanted to take him home so that he can peacefully die at their house. But unfortunately, there is a legal battle against the husband's parents. The husband's parents are actually hoping, the husband's parents have actually filed guardianship over the husband or over their son just because they are planning on having exhaustive treatment in order for him to be kept alive in the hopes that he will recover. The reason why this video is very crucial in my discussion or my topic is that the husband has not left any document or has not signed or executed any of the necessary document in order to guide both the wife and the parents. What am I talking about, Erwin? What I'm talking about is about wills, personal directives, and power of attorneys. Okay, connecting the document with the video that you've just seen. This is about the personal directives. Okay, Personal directives are documents that are signed by the person himself or herself that will govern in case he becomes incapacitated. For example, if in this case, okay, if a person who has executed a personal directive wishes not to be revived, okay, then the parents won't be able to do anything because this is the wish of the son or the husband. Whatever my decision is, everyone has respect regardless. Okay? Now, in this case, the problem was he did not sign, or he did not draft nor finalize or sign any personal directive. And that's the reason why both parties, the wife and the parents, are trying to exert any efforts to exact whatever wishes they like for their loved one. If, for example, the husband has a personal directive and he says, regardless if I'm comatose, I want the doctors to exhaust everything to keep me alive, or then he will be kept alive. The parents will win. Probably this legal battle would have been avoided because the wife will definitely do everything to keep him alive because that's his wishes. If, for example, on the other hand, the husband actually does not want to be revived just in case. Let's say, for example, he was comatose. He's on ventilator. He does not wish to be revived at all. Then everyone around him will definitely respect his wishes. And for example, the wife can just bring him home and peacefully die, or he can just peacefully die in the hospital. I mean, the parents would be respecting that because that's the wishes of their son or the husband of the wife. But in this case, personal directive is something that is a document that other people want to do for you, just in case you become mentally incapacitated, or in this case cannot decide at all, diba? So for example, any other non-financial, so the keyword is non-financial matters, anything that we can do, that will do. Let's say, for example, you became mentally incapacitated, you have cancer, or you have illnesses, diseases. How do you want that person to actually deal with that kind of situation? So basically, you are giving that person the authority to decide on your behalf. Okay, next. Now, we have talked about, Irvin, nasabi mo about personal directive, talking about non-financial matters. Paano naman yung mga financial matters? And that's where the personal power of attorney comes in. So just in case you became mentally incapacitated and you cannot decide how to go about any of the properties that you own, you're still alive. Okay, you are still alive. And that's where the power of attorney comes in. Power of attorney, you are appointing someone to actually decide on your behalf in terms of financial matters. Okay, anything that will do about financial matters. For example, anything about your properties, for that matter. You're still alive, okay, but you're just mentally incapacitated. You cannot decide for your own. Okay, you're still alive. But just in case you, unfortunately, for example, knock on wood, on your demise, of course, as you may have seen in my previous videos about talking about financial wellness, having insurances just to protect your family that you will be leaving behind, then of course these are things as well that you would want to consider, because insurances can only provide money to be given to your beneficiaries, in this case your family or anyone as your beneficiary. But in terms of actually dividing or disposing your properties, then the will is something that is very useful. In Canada, of course, this is something that is widely done. Don't worry about it's widely done. Even a 20-year-old can do it. It's better to be prepared, overly prepared. for that matter, than nothing at all, diba, once you die. Basically, in Canada, when you do a will, okay, you can do with whatever you can do with whatever you want in your property. For example, you've got kids, okay, and then in this case, say for example, they've been rebellious. You don't want to provide, or you don't want to give them any gift, or you don't want them to actually inherit anything from you. In Canada, you can do that. In the Philippines, you cannot do that, okay? Because in the Philippines, there is a law, the Civil Code of the Philippines, protect the legitimate heirs from their inheritance. They cannot be deprived of any legitims, for that matter. If I have a 1 million peso home or a $1 million home, then and I want to give this to my mistress, I cannot do that. By all means, I cannot. I have to at least leave behind something for my children. If this is a 1 million home, the provision that I will be providing this to my mistress is going to be void. It has to be given to the legitimate heirs, which in this case would be my children, right? But nonetheless, in Canada, yes, I can do that. Okay, I can dispose any of my property. I can give my car, I can give my property to anyone I like. To the homeless down the road, to my friend, to my sister, to my brother, anyone that I would prefer to actually be given to. Now, in terms of, there might arise a question, Irvin, what about me? I am a Filipino migrant in Canada, and I definitely want to have a will, a personal directive, and a power of attorney. But I have a property in the Philippines. Is this something that you can do? Luckily, because we are in the best position to actually talk about that, us Filipinos, okay? Because, of course, for those who are Canadians, for example, who are not Filipinos, or any Filipino that have not studied law in the Philippines, or has not become a lawyer in the Philippines, or does not know anything about the laws in the Philippines, that he doesn't have knowledge about this. But for us Filipino lawyers, who are both lawyers in Canada and in the Philippines, we know the difference in these jurisdictions. And this is best discussed between you and your Filipino lawyer, just in case, because we are better equipped to handle these kinds of division of properties that are located outside of Canada, okay? And if you are a Filipino migrant in Canada, of course, your status will also be affected by this. But yeah, so again, to recap, it is very important for us to have the will, okay? The personal directive, the power of attorney, drafted all at the same time. As early as now, because the good thing about this, you are avoiding any unexpected cost, okay, when the situation arises. Because at the end of the day, once you have all of these documents, once you become mentally incapacitated or once you die, they just have to look at this and that's it. It's going to be enforced, okay? But if not, if you don't have this, then there will be a legal battle. For example, if there are families that are competing against each other because they believe that they have this, that you want this, that you want that. So there will be cost, okay? And it would take so much time that you wanted to simplify this, but you cannot because you don't have it. So again, guys, if you have any questions, Irvin, gusto ko na magpagawa ng wills, don't worry, I will be there for you. I can do that for you. If you have any questions, if you want to draft a will, go for it. Why? Because as early as now, it's easy as drafting now. Whatever you want in that will, then you can do that. If, for example, Irvin, 5 years after or 10 years after buhay pa ako, gusto kong baguhin, okay lang ba? Kunyari, kasi yung in-appoint kong tao namatay na eh, or lumipat na ng ibang province, or magkagalit na kami. Pwede ko bang baguhin? Yes, it is easily, it can be easily revised. You can revise it, you can change, you can amend it, you can entirely revise it. So you have the freedom to actually do that. And it's not a document that you cannot change anytime. You can change it anytime as you please. So again, guys, now if you want a lawyer to assist you with that, I'll be happy to actually assist you with that. I can do that for you. I'll be posting my contact details below so that you can see so that you can reach out to me just in case. Okay, and then basically just a caveat again, just a warning that this is not a legal advice. This is just a guidance for you to know, just in case you come up in this situation, you arrive or you come into this kind of situation, so that you know and you will have at least basic knowledge. Now, feel free to talk to me. Feel free, and I will definitely assist you. Okay? So again, maraming salamat for joining me today. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video to your friends, subscribe to our channel, and click on that notification bell down below so that you'll be updated in our future videos. Okay? So I'll see you in my next vlog. Thank you, guys. See ya.